See.
Yeah. There. Pretty.
Okay. And then how do I turn it off though?
Push it again.
Well, I came up to the top of the road here to show you guys, show you what it feels like to come down the road and drive into our place at the lake. I borrowed Jim and Karen's camera because Dad was expressing an interest in what it looked like. So I'm doing a little recording for you. On the left side here is Chin Lake. That's quite a large lake. I'm not sure if I have my facts right, but I think it might even go for about 50 miles. And it empties in underneath the road here into Stafford Lake. And that's the lake that we're on. So this is coming down the road. I hope I don't slide. I've gone down here a few times on my rear end. This is probably going to be a wobbly tape, but anyway, I hope you kind of get an idea. So here we are at the top of the road where we turn into our place. As you can see, Stafford is just a bit of a river at this end. And when we get down a little further, I'm going to show you how it comes in. I'm probably breathing heavy because this was a climb coming up here, and I'm out of shape. I wish I had recorded this yesterday because the sun was just shining away and there was no wind, and today it's kind of cloudy and windy, so I hope you can hear me over the wind. Kind of give you a view of the hills on the other side. The first time we came here, the road was here, but everything else looked exactly like those hills on the other side. As far as I can remember, there wasn't one single tree here. There's a little road here where the fishermen drive into. This is just St. Mary's land here. This doesn't belong to anybody. They come down this little road and park here, and they fish at the end here because this is where all the pelicans gather, and this is where the water comes in from Chin into Stafford. It's kind of rough walking here, so I'm sure this is bouncing all over the place. I'm going to actually walk closer and give you another view. There's a few pelicans taking off. This is closer up and you can kind of get an idea. They've got it coming in pretty good today, but our water has been quite low, so I guess they're trying to fill us up a little bit. I think because it's been so dry, the farmers have been using up the water quite quickly, and that's probably why our lake is going down. But anyway, here's kind of an idea. That's the road up there that we were just up on before. There's the road I came down, and there's the corner that we turn in. And there's the hills across the lake. And it goes kind of like a little river up until it comes into the lake. And there's the settlement. So here I am back up on the road again. I'm walking down the road towards the houses. When we came, like I said before, I don't think there was a single tree. And one of our neighbors was telling us a year or two ago that he started counting trees at lot number 1. And I forget how far he got, to number 2 or 3, something like that. And he had already counted 300 trees. So he quit counting after that. But that was one of the first things that everybody did when they got here, was start planting trees. And actually that was one of the stipulations that we had to do when we bought the place, was you had to plant at least 6 trees in the first year. So this is lot number 1. This road beside them here is still on St. Mary's land, but the shed and that sort of thing is on number 1. That one has changed hands. The first people didn't do anything with it, but then the second people came in and they've done a nice job. Number 1 here. They're reluctant to actually photograph people's places because they might be wondering what I'm doing, so I'm just going to do a scan. Four, 5. The hills again on the other side of the road. Another scan. We hear that guy with the purple house is asking $300,000 for his place. Somebody brought a tractor out here to do some work, I guess. Thought I'd give you another view of the hills as we're coming up the road. I've turned around and this is looking back up the road where I just came from. So I thought I'd just give you another view. Here's a picture of the hill that Albert and Leah climbed a couple of weeks ago. She thought she was pretty good after that. Some people have built, some people haven't, including us. Well, we're getting close to our place. You can see my truck parked up on the road there. This trailer here is the one that Jim and Karen brought in. And they've got it running now. Everything's going good for them, so. This lot here belongs to a fellow we call the Viking, just because he looks like one. Here's a picture of Jim and Karen's place a little bit closer. There's our truck once again. And this lot on this side of their place is the one that we had originally hoped to have. There's Jim waving. But it was sold, so we took this is number 18. Jim and Karen are number 19, and we took number 20 after that. So I'm getting closer to our place now, and I'm going to start walking again with the camera. So it's probably going to be very wobbly. I'm not going to walk down in front of the other people's places further past because they're all here and they're going to wonder why I'm videotaping them. But I'll give you a glimpse of their places from down on our dock. So we're coming up to our driveway. We had to put this in because it was sort of a rather steep incline from the road down to our lot. So Albert got some of the mud that they had used to when they dug out the sewer and water tanks, and they brought that down here for us, and he made a driveway. And then later on, when we made the boat launch, Albert got them to put some of that soil up here to widen it out. That's our trailer and our decks and our dock in the background and our rocks and our little forest of maple trees that we brought from your place. Big purple ones are a couple of choke cherries, and then there's a few poplars in there and some small spruces that I'm not sure if they're even showing up or not. And the trailer behind ours belongs to Keith and Glenda. Here's our little wild roses growing around the hydro pole. Our maple trees again. Some of them are very tiny further down there. Got a few raspberries growing down there. And that's our ornamental crabapple growing beside Jim's shed there, but this year the bugs got at it and it's not looking very good. So I'm down at the bottom of the driveway now, and this is our yard. If you keep going this way, this is where the boat launch is dug out. One more walk downhill to the lake here. You can see the cement pad that Albert and Dean and Kelly and Jim poured one winter. This is along the edge of our lot beside Jim and Karen's place, this boat launch. There's some boats on the lake, canoe and jet ski. This is the front of Jim and Karen's over here. Yeah? Karen's videotaping me videotaping. This is their trailer, their tent, and there she is videotaping me. So I'm right out on the boat launch right at the edge of the water here. That's our dock there. It's stable except for that floating piece, which has really been a handy thing because that always stays at the same height of the water. Because the water fluctuates, so sometimes the dock is at a good height and sometimes it's not. And you can probably see Keith and Glenda's controversial dock in the background there. That's what the little house over is a boat lift that belongs to Merv Brandt. He's next door to Keith and Glenda. These rocks that you're seeing are part of a little peninsula that we built out here. Albert got the guy to make it when the boat launch was dug. And he put rocks and soil in here to kind of make a little peninsula out into the lake, and we had our fire pit there. But last year with all the wind it got kind of eroded away, so this year it was kind of remade with these big rocks, and it was made bigger, a bigger area, and Albert put those ties in there. And the stairs that you see there are the ones that Kelly made a few years ago. So I'm coming up to this first part of the peninsula here. This is where our fire pit area is going to be. Haven't put the rocks back yet to make a fire pit, but there's always lots of work to do. Now this top level, I've planted some perennials, but I don't know how visible they are. And then you can see we have another little retaining wall there. And once again there's Kelly's stairs. Now I'm up on the peninsula. There's the boat launch, the dock, stairs, and as I walk this way, you can see this little area that we've planted on the side of the hill to keep the weeds out. There's tulips along the front in the springtime, and then irises. And then we have cedars and snow on the mountain planted, and they've done well this year. They're really filling it in very quickly. Up there you see the deck that we have on this end of the trailer. And there you can see the stairs that are going down to the dock. Albert and Kelly had quite a time putting those up this year. You can also see the pump there that we pump water from the lake so we can water our grass. So I'm going to walk up Kelly's stairs here now. Here's another view of our little flowers. They don't look like much yet, but hopefully it'll all fill in and be nice. We had these 3 large rocks brought in at the top here too when they put in the big rock down below. So now I'm at the top of the stairs by the peninsula side. Once again, there's the stairs that go to the dock. Here's the deck that we built this year. There's the back of our trailer. And the little higher deck on the side is the one we built, or Albert built, a couple of years ago. Here's another view of those rocks and the maples taken from down at the end of the driveway. And there's a view of the side of the road. There's our chokecherry trees again, and there's little spruces and that sort of thing. And there's a band of wildflowers there, but they're not showing up very well today because it seems to be some kind of a flax flower, and it's only open in the morning. That's Keith and Glenda's shed. And their trailer behind, Merv's house behind them. And then this is another view of our trailer and deck. The other little forest that we're hoping will grow someday. There's some poplars, once again the chokecherry trees. The wildflowers. A couple of little spruce trees there, I don't know if you can even see them. And one little ash. So we're really hoping these trees will grow quickly. And the ones along there are Keith and Glenda's. They're Saskatoon bushes in between poplars. And then we have one tiny little ash tree there at the end of the trailer. The trailer taken from behind the chokecherry tree up towards the road and our lot. Those are our railroad ties over there, and like so many other things, we need lots of time, but we feel like we've accomplished a lot here too. Another view of Merv's house. I'm going to walk behind the trailer here. These trees in a line here are the edge of our property. And the hydro pole and yard light over there is the other edge of our property. I think if I recall correctly, it's 88 feet wide. But it's one of the smaller lots here, but it's one of the widest lots. But it's quite short. A lot of the lots are wider. That's our septic tank behind the trailer and our canoe. And this is the other end of the big deck. And that's our dock leading down from it. And this end here. I'm going to climb up on this deck. On the stairs, I hope. These are the stairs that lead down to the dock. So now I'm down on the dock. There's our little peninsula. Here's the front of our lot. There's Kelly's stairs. And there once again is the cedars and snow on the mountain. And the deck. The water pump. I don't know how long this dock is, I can't remember. There's the floating part. Here's the slip to put our boat in. Here we are out at the end. And there's a view of that end of the lake. Quite a few houses and things. Those are the ones that we came past as I walked down the road. Once again, Jim and Karen's place. And our place. And as I go this way, that's the front of Merv's place. He's got a beautiful place. And then there's Tim next to him in the white house with the green roof. Then there's Andy, the next one, the big house. Then there's another lot in between him and Kelsey, the very last house there. And then there's one more lot way at the end. There's 27 lots in all. This is Keith's boat lifter. That's Merv's. And that's what we have now, another project for poor Albert to put together. So I'm walking back up the dock, back up to our place. Trying to keep the camera steady and watch where I'm going at the same time. So now we came up the stairs back up to the deck. Once again, the back of our trailer up to the road. It's one of our Adirondack chairs that we bought with some of our anniversary money. A couple of my pots. Coming up this deck on the side of the trailer. And this is the rocking chair that we bought at Costco this year. And our other Adirondack chair. This is my little flower garden where I have the roses that I brought from there. My little pink roses. And now we're going to go into the trailer. First thing that we see is Kuna sleeping on the chair. This is kind of the living room area. I don't know what the light is like in here, so I hope it'll be okay. Those are the curtains and slip covers and things like that that I sewed when we bought this trailer. This is the little kitchen area. Stove. This might be a better view. Door that we just came in, that's where we have our TV and microwave. There's the fridge. And back there you can see the bedroom. We have these little cupboards up here over top of the living room area. Here we are looking out at Keith and Glenda's place from inside the trailer. And here's one more picture of Coon. Jim told me how to zoom, but now I can't remember. So now we're going back into the bedroom. We each have a closet over our bed. And there's me coming down the hallway with a mirror. Our bathroom is in here. It's really nice to have this. We can shower in here. And the bathtub doubles as a storage space. So I think I've shown you just about everything, so I think this will be the end of my tape. See you on Thursday.